Hey guys, this is Greg with Medical Muscle. In this video, I want to talk about what every med student should know before getting into medical school. So let's get into it. Success in medical school is more about determination and relentlessness than something like intelligence, okay? So you have to be a pretty smart person. That just makes sense to get into medical school. But what will get you to the finish line has less to do with intelligence and more to do with your constitution. You know, how do you take on stress? How do you take on challenges that seem, daunting and almost impossible? Medical school is hard. It is very hard. It's very psychologically hard. It's very physically hard when you get into year 3. And even for the absolute smartest students, it becomes an incredible challenge. So you need something else other than just a good functioning brain to be able to get through this. You have to have a good constitution. You have to have a good willpower to pick studying over going and doing things that might also be enjoyable. You know, it's a big challenge, and And I think if you can have determination, you'll do well. Okay, the second point is don't get locked into the same old study patterns. There are a lot of great resources out there. There are tons, okay? And there's always new ones being added into the medical school resource atmosphere. So I encourage you to experiment with these different resources, okay? Try them out. See if you like them. See if they work, okay? Obviously, you can't do all of them, right? You can't incorporate all of them all at once, but just try a few, maybe every few terms, see if they work for you, okay? Just for example, Anki, Boards and Beyond, using first aid, things like that, go through all the different resources that you have available to you and see if it works for you, okay? And be able to adapt. Every term gets more and more challenging, and the way you have to study changes. I had to change what I did every single term, and I'm glad that I was flexible, and the people that are flexible will do very well. The people that are not so flexible will get stuck. Okay, and the last point, and I say this in a lot of my videos, what every new student should know is that medicine is a team sport, and that it is so hard, it is so challenging, the whole process of medical school, that even the best, brightest, most determined students by themselves will struggle. And to make that process easier is to create a team of students where you're going to work together to overcome this challenge. The benefits of creating these small teams is you guys can share resources, the newest resources, there's always new ones coming out, okay? To share ideas, to share learning tips, to share some kind of advice, okay? And it's crucial. That's how you get the edge over this stuff. And the only way you'll know about this stuff is by tight-knit groups, okay? Because people don't just share it wildly sometimes. That's a big piece of advice. And then as you get into the hospital, you need to create maybe a small team in the hospital, okay, where you're mixing students and residents. Obviously, then comes the attendings, right? They become like the leader of that team. You guys are a unit. You start going through and working together. And if there's maybe a confusing case where, and it happens a lot, where you don't know exactly what's going on, as a student, you become very important because you have probably the most time. You're not as busy as the residents or attendings, so you have time to look up things and look through research and be able to figure out what's actually going on, and you become a very important part of the team, okay? And then the benefit is that you'll get great letters of recommendation. Some of these attendings may even call on your behalf to these residency programs. So it's just always a team sport from the beginning, not an individual sport. All right, guys, I wish you the best of luck on your journey and keep kicking booty.